Welcome to the Church Merger Week in Review introduction video. So what is a church merger week in review? I'm going to answer that two ways. First, if you're a member of our congregations that are merging. Secondly, if you just found us on YouTube and are wondering what is a church merger week in review. So I'll start with the second one. If you just found us and you're not familiar with what's going on, we are two churches in West Virginia that have built a relationship over the last couple of years and realized that we are in pursuing the unity that Jesus prayed for in John 17, we are better together than we are apart. And so we have spent a couple of years discerning that, wrestling with unity, and have come to the point where we are merging our two churches in the hopes of better fulfilling Jesus' commission to the church. And so that's what these videos are for everybody. We have so much going on. We have decided last month to move forward with the merger process. And there are so many things happening so fast that it's very difficult to keep the church up to speed on everything that's happening. And so we thought, why not use the modern medium of video and get the information out so that everybody is aware of everything going on. I kind of feel like as this whole thing's going down, there's a part of it where it's kind of like the duck imagery, or where above water you don't see much happening, but below water the feet are moving really fast. That's very much how it feels with this merger process. On many fronts there is frantic activity and so much happening. And then on other fronts, it's kind of like, well, what's happening? You don't necessarily see these things. And so we want to start doing some videos to keep everybody up to speed on what is happening, who's involved, how is that process going, and thought this would be a great way to do it, is through the medium of video. And so that's what the church merger week in reviews are. I want to thank the church. Both churches are now one church. Thank the church so much for your patience and support through this whole process. It has been nothing short of amazing, and I am so grateful. There really is so much going on in our church merger. I do want to thank everybody who filled out the talent survey. That was super helpful. We had about 30 of us do that. I'm going to post that in the show notes again. If you haven't had a chance to do that and you want to be engaged in the merger process, this helps us figure out where best to employ people through the process of merging. And so if you haven't filled it out, if you haven't filled it out, the link will be in the show notes. If you have filled it out, just know that we have taken all that information, we've categorized it, and we are in the process of mobilizing people to do different things. The way the merger works is there are 1,000 things that need to happen in those categories that we ask people about, but certain dominoes have to fall before other ones can happen. And so it's a lot of figuring out, okay, this is done, now let's move to this, now let's move to this. And so I would ask, just please be patient. Know that you are going to be asked. We are going to tap shoulders. We already have, and many things are already happening. But if you have not heard anything from us, just know it's coming. We are going to mobilize as many people as possible to be involved in this process. And then what was the other thing that I wanted to say about that? As you can see, these videos are very low production value. It's not like a script. It's just trying to keep everybody up. Oh, that was the other thing. So with the videos, what we're going to do is, because so many people are involved, we're going to try and do some of them where we interview the people who are doing things, and they're going to be the ones that are going to tell you about what's going on. And so again, with all this, we want people to know what's happening and who's doing stuff and all that kind of thing. And so that is another part of the videos that we're going to be doing. The last thing I want to say is the simplest way to get these videos is if you download our church app. Now, if you've been a part of the KBC, we had an app in the past that was just kind of a bucket app. It was really just a website that you stored on your homepage. This is actually an app that we have now. And so I will link that in the show notes below. But if you go ahead and you download the app, it's through ChurchTrack, which is going to be the church software that we wind up using for our merged church. It's currently all branded as Kanawha Valley Church, but all that's going to be updated as we go through the naming and branding process. but you can go ahead and download the app now. And once you download the app, you can log in, you can do a ton through it. You can do your online giving, there's a calendar, all kinds of things. But one of the things is there's a media tab. Under that media tab, there's a playlist for these weekend reviews. And so you'll have access to them through the app. But not only that, we'll send you a push notification. Yes, our new app has push notifications if you allow it. We will send you a push notification when the videos drop. And so again, the goal, we call it a weekend review. The goal is to do every week. The reality is probably to get everybody up to speed, we might do more than one a week initially, just so we get out as much information as possible. And we'll do our best to do one every week, but we're not like, this is not what we do professionally, So anyway, you can download the app. Again, I'll link the link to download our app in the show notes, so you can do that there. That's going to be the simplest way to know and keep yourself up to speed on what we're doing and stay informed. So anyway, that's our first church merger weekend review. Welcome, and we look forward to communicating. Please continue to pray. The most important thing through all this is that God is working. And many of these things, it was best expressed in a meeting recently, many of these things that we're doing are so that the main thing can happen, which is us worshiping God, growing, maturing, really seeing the church thrive. And so please, please, please continue to pray about all of these topics, about the merger in general. We need the power of God to guide us through this. So thanks so much for joining us for the weekend review. We'll see you next time.